So what I have today is the AMVR replacement face cushion for the Pico 4. It says leather, but you know these things are never leather. It's a pleather, fake type of leather, which is there to repel sweat, which if you're playing active VR games or if it's summer, then you might want to use this instead of the stock one, which is a very comfortable interface, but it is a woven material, which is nice against your skin, but is going to soak up the sweat, which isn't very hygienic. So something like this might be useful to swap out in between if you're playing particular types of games that are going to be pretty hot and sweaty. Some instructions, don't need to see that. Obviously very basic. Oh, that's kind of nice. We do get a very generously sized lens cloth as well, so that's very useful to have. And the interface here. And nose guard has fallen off, so it looks like it's a removable nose guard. So that's good. You might want it on, you might want it off, depends on what you need. It's up to you. And of course the cushions material here, as you can see, yes, it is a basically a water repellent material and a rigid frame. Also I can see some vent holes there on there and also at the bottom, so that's kind of nice as well. So if you're playing active games, it's nice to be able to have a bit of airflow. That should help reduce or prevent any misting of the lenses, so that's all good. And let's bring in the Pico 4 interface. We can just compare the sizes. But as I said, as you can see, as you know, if you have one of these, it's a nice material, very soft and cushioned, but it is a material. So would I really want to be kind of jumping around in games where I'm going to be sweating into this? No, I'd actually rather use this. So let's just take a look at the size difference if it's identical. Looks pretty well sized, very similar to the original. So no difference there really, from what I can tell. Just going to put it against my face. Yeah, it's about the same, not much in it, if anything. Yeah, seems okay. Let's whack it on. So it should just pop on like the originals with magnets and all that. Top strap has just come loose, but let's just pop it on, see if it fits. And yeah, just like the original, it just kind of pops on with magnets built into the frame. And that's how it looks. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give it a run for a couple of days, just see what happens, and then I'll be back with my results. I've been using this AMVR facial interface now for a few days, and I can share my observations. Now the first thing I'll say is I do prefer this one over this one for reasons that are unexpected, but I'll get to that in a moment. So my initial purpose to buy this was something I could swap between the two. If I'm playing active VR games and it's a hot day, then I'll rather use this rather than this, because this will soak up the sweat. It's a woven material, it's a nice material against the skin, but it's going to soak it up since there is foam behind there, and then you're going to have to kind of clean it, you're going to have to wash it and let it dry, where this is a wipe down material. So that's the first thing, but I've noticed actually, and I only realised afterwards that I was only using this one because I prefer the shape of this. Now, it's really subtle, but it's hard to see from this angle when you look at it because it looks about the same. Now, the way this fits against your face is it's a dense foam and it sort of like moulds against your face. So it's there to be, I guess, not tight fitting, but I guess fairly close and snug, I guess that's the way I'd describe it, and it does feel like that against your face, and it's not uncomfortable, but it does feel like a snug fit. So it's doing its purpose and it's not letting any light in it, so it works very well for that. But this feels more comfortable. It's a little bit more, I guess, wider. The contour is just a little bit more forgiving, and I find that just goes against my face, and it's still no light leakage, but it feels more comfortable against my face, just the contour of it. And the material here is very soft, where this is slightly firm. This is a very soft memory foam below that, and it just feels nicer. It just does feel more comfortable. The other thing I noticed, which I wasn't expecting, was the field of view has improved using this. And again, you can't really tell a difference when you put them side by side. It's a subtle difference, but it is actually slightly shorter. So it brings your eyes closer into the lenses, and you can tell. Swapping between them, you can tell. And the other thing you can tell is when I swap between them, I have to readjust the head strap, because when I'm using if I swap from this one to this one, there's a bit of a gap, and likewise when I change it around, it's a bit tight. When I put this one back on, I have to loosen it a bit. So it does change the field of view in a way which is tangible and appreciable. So you will appreciate that. Now, if you're a glasses wearer, well, potentially bringing in the lenses close to your eyes won't be ideal, but I did test it with my reading glasses. Now, I don't use these when I play VR, I don't need it for that, but I did give it a go. And there's still a gap, there's still a few millimeters gap between my lenses. They fit in there, as you can see, they still go in there. Absolutely fine, as they fit between this here. As you can see, it is properly shaped for that reason for glasses. And I found this was to be fine, this was fine as well, and there's still a gap. And that may depend on obviously face shape and glasses sizes and all that sort of stuff. But I guess you could get the gasket that comes with your Pico 4. You could use it on here just to bring it out a bit if you want to. But I have to say, increasing the field of view is a good thing. So there's a benefit there as well. Yeah, and I've kind of been using this interface, and I haven't really swapped back to this one, other than sort of testing it and observing the differences. But otherwise, I sort of prefer this, and I'm probably going to use this 99% of the time. I might find reasons to use this, but mostly I'm going to be using this because it's just more comfortable to use, better field of view, and certainly, for hygiene, it's just a better material. The other thing I'll say about this sort of material as well, because you might think, well, it's going to be quite sweaty and all that sort of stuff, and yes, it does get a bit more clammy because it's a non-breathable material, but it does have these, you can see it is wrinkled, it is sort of creased, and I think it does allow a little bit of breathability against your skin, because I've also used silicone sort of covers for facial interfaces, and that creates like a hard seal, which you can't get away from that, and it immediately you can really feel it against your skin, where it feels incredibly clammy against your skin. It's so much nicer using this over silicone. So if you're kind of wondering if there's a difference between this and silicone, yes, this is much better. I find it's much better, so I prefer this. Yeah, so it's been a really good experience. It's actually been running really, really well. I like it. They've done a good job on this. Now, the other thing I want to end with, guys, is if you find this on Amazon, I put a link to AliExpress. That's where I bought this from. But if you do buy it from Amazon, it's like 3 times more expensive. I mean, it's incredibly expensive to buy this AMVR facial interface from Amazon. It's stupidly priced. It's like over £30, nearly £40 I've seen it listed at. And this, I bought this from AliExpress for like £13, including tax and shipping, and that was it. So if you're going to buy this, and I do recommend you get this, get it from AliExpress. Avoid Amazon because it's just bonkers the price there. And it's great value from AliExpress. So yeah, get it from my link, and you'll save some money there, guys. But there you go. That's my review for the AMVR facial interface. Really good. Yeah, really, really good. Surprisingly good. Yeah. So I thought I was going to use it for a few purposes, but now I'm finding I'm using it, as my main facial interface for my Pico 4. So it is really great. There you go. Hope you found this one useful. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy, and bye bye for now.